All right, I think this is going to work this time. This is my Week 6 NFL Power Rankings. I've already tried to record this once. My thing's been bugging a little bit, but I think it's working this time. All right, so let's just get started. Number 6 is the Carolina Panthers at number 32. They were number 32, so they stayed after losing 24 to 42 versus the Lions. So they're 0-5. Only team without a win. Bryce Young's been doing decent in this game with 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks, but still lost the game. So, interesting stat for the Panthers this week, or for this season, I guess so far. They have 1 rushing touchdown on offense, and they've allowed 9 rushing touchdowns on defense. So the rushing game is not good on either side of the ball. Number 31 is the Patriots, dropping 3 spots, being 1-4. So they just lost 0-34 to the Saints. Really bad there. Mac Jones played really bad this week. They've been outscored 72-3 in the last 2 games, and those have been the worst 2 losses of Bill Belichick's career. So the Patriots are not looking good right now. Next up is the Giants at number 30. They are 1-4. They were number 29 last week. They just lost 16-31 to the Dolphins. Daniel Jones got hurt in this game, and he will likely miss the next game as well. But I don't think it really matters because they're not going to probably win anyways because the Giants suck. They have a minus 91 point differential in the league, which is the worst in the NFL this season. So, just not looking good for the Giants right now. Number 29 is the Broncos. They were number 30. They lost this week, 21-31 versus the Jets. Russell Wilson played solid with 3 touchdowns, but they're 2 touchdowns, but their defense has been not good all season. They're allowing 36 points a game on defense, which is the worst in the league. Also, Frank Clark and Baron Browning are going to miss Thursday night's game against the Chiefs. Not that matters because the Broncos wouldn't probably win anyways, but number 29 for the Broncos. Next is the Cardinals at 28. They were 26. They're 1-4 now, so they played the Bengals this week and lost 20-34. Dobbs had 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Not great. They have the 5th best rushing offense in the league with 143 yards per game, but now James Conner is on the IR, which is going to hurt that. So, number 27, I got the Commanders. They were 23, dropping 4 spots after losing 20-40 versus the Bears. Sam Howell had 388 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick, so he played pretty good. The thing about this Commanders team is that Sam Howell is on pace to be sacked 99 times this season. So, you're not going to be winning many games if you're going to get sacked every other play. Number 26 is the Bears, moving up 5 spots from number 31. They are 1-4 now, getting their first win of the season, 40-20 over the Commanders. Justin Fields had 280 yards and 4 touchdowns. DJ Moore had 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. Justin Fields just threw 4 touchdowns in back-to-back games, and he's never thrown 4 touchdowns in a game in his NFL career to this point. So, Justin Fields showing improvement. That is solid. They also traded wide receiver Chase Claypool, which is a W move because he sucks and was a locker room problem, so get him out of there. Number 25 is the Vikings, moving down 4 spots from number 21. They played the Chiefs and lost 20-27 this week. So not a bad game. Kirk Cousins had 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. The thing is that Justin Jefferson is now on the IR, so I don't see them winning. I don't see them, winning a lot of games without Justin Jefferson. And they are 1-4 in 1-possession games this year after doing so good in them last year. They're 1-4 in them this year, so take that as you will. Number 24 is the Raiders, moving up 3 spots from number 27. So they beat the Packers on Monday Night Football this week, 17-13. Garoppolo had 200 yards, a touchdown, and a pick, so he was okay. Their offense this season has only scored 15.8 points per game, which is tied for the 4th worst offense in the league. So, I don't understand how you have Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams, and you can't score at least 17 points per game. That doesn't make sense to me. Number 23 is the Falcons, moving up 1 spot. after beating the Texans 21-19. Desmond Ridder had 329 yards and a touchdown. They traded for wide receiver Van Jefferson this week, so that could also help their offense. Just the thing with this team is that Desmond Ridder has been up and down this season. His passer ratings have gone from 112 to 80 to 70 to 63 to 111. So, he's had two really good games with 112 and 111 passer rating, a decent game with an 80 passer rating, and then, two not so good games with a 70 and a 63 passer rating. So, as you can see, they are 3-2, and when he has, decent to good passer ratings, they win games, and when he has not so good passer ratings, they lose games. So basically, Desmond Ridder just has to play good every week, and they can win games. Number 22 is the Jets. They stay at 22 after beating the Broncos 31-21 this week. Zach Wilson played. He didn't play great this week with 199 yards and one interception, but he did throw for 70% completion percentage. Which now he has thrown for 2 straight games with 70% completion percentage when he has not done that in his NFL career up to this point in a single game. So him, like Justin Fields, have had 2 good games in a row. They've done things 2 games in a row that they have not done in a single game to this point. So both of them are showing improvement. But also for the Jets, guard Elijah Vera Tucker's on the IR, so that should hurt their offensive line a little bit. But we'll see what happens there. Number 21. The Packers moving down 3 spots for number 18 after a 13-17 loss to the Raiders. So they are now 2-3. Jordan Love had 182 yards and 3 picks, so not good for him. In the first 2 weeks, Jordan Love threw 6 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. In the last 3 weeks, he's thrown 2 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. So he started off hot, and now's looking not hot. Number 20, got the Titans moving down 4 spots from number 16 to number 20 after a 16-23 loss versus the Colts. Ryan Tannehill had 260 yards and a pick. D-Hop played good with 140 yards, but Ryan Tannehill has been all over the place this year in his passer ratings. He's had a 29 passer rating, 123 passer rating, a 63, a 99, and a 79. So his 29 passer rating, god awful. 123 passer rating, really freaking good. A 63 passer rating, bad. A 99 passer rating, good. And a 79 passer rating, decent. So a god awful, a great, a decent, a good, and a bad passer rating. So he's been literally in all 5 stages there. He's been in all 5 stages of quarterback play this season, which, we need some consistency with our starting quarterback, which I do not think he'll be the starting quarterback much longer if he cannot provide at least a little bit of consistency. Number 19 is the Houston Texans, dropping 4 spots from number 15 after they lost to the Falcons this week, 19-21. So C.J. Stroud had 250 yards and a touchdown. He broke the record for most passing attempts to start a career without a pick with 186. He could still bet on that number next week. So that'll be interesting to see. They also signed corner Jason Verrett. Maybe that could help their defense out a little bit. We'll see. Number 18 is the Steelers, jumping 2 spots from number 20 after a 17-10 win versus the Baltimore Ravens. Kenny Pickett had 224 yards and a touchdown this week. George Pickens had 130 yards and a touchdown this week. So they played all right. Thing is, with this offense, it has been so bad this year. They are averaging only 15.8 points per game this season, which is tied for the 4th worst offense in the league. So, fire Matt Canada. Number 17 is the Colts. They stay at 17 after a 23-16 win versus the Tennessee Titans. Anthony Richardson got hurt this week, which he's played in 3 games, and he's played in 4 games and got hurt in 2 of them, so that's something. Zach Moss played really good with 195 yards and 2 touchdowns this week. Even though they had Jonathan Taylor back, Zach Moss still got most of the touches and performed well with him. So, Yeah. Interesting note is that Anthony Richardson, he's on the IR now. He could miss up to 8 weeks, which is not good. But in games that Anthony Richardson has either missed completely or got injured in, and Gardner Minshew came in, Gardner Minshew has won 3 games, and Anthony Richardson, when he finishes a game, is 0-2. So maybe Gardner Minshew won't be so bad. Number 16 for the Saints, jumping up 9 spots after beating the Patriots 34-0. You know, Derek Carr had 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. He played okay, but their defense has been the main story for the Saints this season. In 4 out of the 5 games, they've held their opponent to 17 or less points. So, really good defense this year for the Saints. Number 15 is the Los Angeles Rams, dropping 4 spots from 11 down to 15 after a 23-14 loss versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Stafford had 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp in his first game back had 118 yards, so he played solid. They traded wide receiver Van Jefferson. They have decent receivers. They have good receivers with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, and then freaking Tutu Atwell's been playing really solid, so they don't really need Van Jefferson, so might as well get something out of him. Thing for them is Matthew Stafford in 5 games has 5 touchdowns and 5 picks. So that would mean he's on pace for 17 touchdowns and 17 interceptions, which is not good. So Stafford's got to play better. Number 14 is the Cleveland Browns. They're staying at 14 coming off of their bye week. Not much to say about our team on their bye week, but the Browns this season have allowed only 15 points per game, which is second best in the league, only to San Francisco. So really good defense for them. Number 13, the Buccaneers, also on a bye week. Their interesting stat here would be that their defense has allowed only 6 total touchdowns in 4 games, and their defense has 6 interceptions in 4 games. So they're getting 1 pick for each touchdown they allow, which is, I would say that's pretty good. Number 12 is the Bengals, jumping up 7 spots after beating the Cardinals 34-20. They're only 2-3, which is not good, but as long as Joe Burrow can play like he just did and not like he has been the last 4 weeks, and Ja'Marr Chase finally got going. Joe Burrow had 300 yards and what was it? Yeah, he had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Ja'Marr Chase had almost 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. So if those two can play good every week, they should be winning more football games than they have been. But even after scoring 34 points this week, their offense is only averaging 16.6 points per game, which is still the 6th worst offense in the league. So that's not good for them. Number 11 is the Chargers, dropping 1 spot after their bye week. Their interesting stat is that they get sacked 4 times a game, which is not good. That is going to be an average of 76 sacks on the season, which nobody should be taking 76 sacks in a season. That could not be healthy for Justin Herbert's body. Number 10, we got the Cowboys dropping 7 spots after getting absolutely demolished by the San Francisco 49ers, 10-42. Dak Prescott threw for 153 yards, 1 touchdown and 3 picks. Not good at all. But even for the defense, even after allowing 42 points this game, they only allow 16.6 points per game, which is still the 8th best defense in the league, which is, that's kind of telling because 16.6 points is really good defense, and that's only the 8th best in the league so far. That means a lot of defenses are playing really solid up to this point. Number 9, I got the Jags jumping 3 spots from number 12 after beating the Bills 25-20 in London. T-Law had 300 yards and a touchdown. ETN had 136 yards and 2 touchdowns, so they played really good. The thing is that they are 2-0 in London and 1-2 in the U.S. So they have 2 times as many wins in London as they do in the United States. So if they want to, win the division and make the playoffs, they're going to have to win some more games in the United States. Number 8 is the Baltimore Ravens, dropping 4 spots after losing 17-10 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lamar Jackson had 236 yards and an interception. Not completely his fault that his counting stats aren't great because his receivers dropped 7 passes this week. You can't expect a quarterback to do good when your receivers drop 7 passes, especially when Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman on back-to-back plays both dropped a touchdown that probably could have won. That probably could have resulted in the Ravens winning this game. So yeah, tough loss or tough break for them. But even I mean, their defense has been really good this year. They've only allowed 4 total touchdowns this season as a defense and allowed no rushing touchdowns as a defense. So they have the best rushing um, defense in the league, you could say, because they've allowed no rushing touchdowns. So really good defense for the Ravens. Their offense has got to step it up, and it's not that's not really Lamar Jackson's fault. Number 7 is the Bills, dropping 5 spots from number 2 after they lost 20-25 versus the Jaguars. So they lost. So they lost by 5. Josh Allen played really good with 360 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs both had 100 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, they played good. It's just that Matt Milano and Daquan Jones are also on the IR. So that's a lot of why they're moving down 5 spots is because they lost 2 really good linebackers. They did sign Josh Norman, but he's kind of old, and I don't know how much of an impact he's going to make. But yeah, for the Bills, they're interesting stat. They have a plus 79 point differential, which is second in the league to only San Francisco. So I'll say that's pretty good. Number 6, we got Seattle Seahawks jumping 2 spots. They're in their bye week. Their interesting stat is that they are also, like the Chargers, getting sacked an average of 4 times a game, which is not good. Let's see. Number 5, Detroit Lions, jumping up 4 spots from number 9. They played the Panthers this week and won 42-24. So their offense played really good. Jared Goff had 236 yards and 3 touchdowns. Sam Laporta had 2 touchdowns. Their offense this year has been really good, averaging 29.6 points per game, which is the 4th best scoring offense in the league. Number 4, we got Miami Dolphins. They were 7, jumped to number 4 after beating the after beating the who'd they play? The Giants. They beat the Giants 31-16. Tua had 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 300 yards. So he was okay. Devon Achane had 150 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill had 180 yards and a touchdown. So, those guys balling out like usual. But what will hurt the Dolphins is that they lost Teron Armstead to the IR, and they lost Devon Achane to the IR. They have Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert to replace Devon Achane, but obviously Devon Achane has been playing really good. He has like 7 touchdowns in 5 games, so losing him will definitely hurt. But even without Devon Achane, this team is still the fastest team in the league. They have the 7 fastest ball carrier speeds in the NFL this season, with Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane, and Raheem Mostert taking up the top 7. So even without Devon Achane, they still have the top 2 ball carrier speeds in the league. Number 3, we got the Kansas City Chiefs moving up 3 spots from number 6 to number 3. They beat the Vikings 27-20. Patrick Mahomes had 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. Thing is that Patrick Mahomes has been playing good this year, but not to his standards. This is the worst. He is on pace for the worst passer rating of his career, with a 96 passer rating, which is still a good passer rating, but for Patrick Mahomes, 96 passer rating is the worst of his career. So, yeah, not great start for him for his standards. Number 2 is the Eagles, moving up from number 5 to number 2. They are 5-0. They beat the Rams 23-14. Jalen Hurts had 300 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Goddard and Brown both had 100 yards. Real thing is for this team, they are a really good rushing team. They have 55 rushing first downs, which is the most rushing first downs out of any team. They're plus 10 over the 49ers for the second most rushing first downs. And a lot of that is because of their tush-push thing that they do on 3rd and 4th and short that they've probably done at least 10 times this season for first downs. Number one, obviously, is the San Francisco 49ers. They were number one last week. If they beat the Cowboys 42-10, so they're obviously going to be number one this week and probably for the foreseeable future because apparently Brock Purdy is allergic to losing games in the regular season. He's like 13, 14-0 now in the regular season, so I would say that's pretty solid. Um, Purdy had 4 touchdowns this game. Kittle had 3 touchdowns this game. They traded for Randy Gregory, which they don't really need any other players anywhere, but it doesn't help to get another linebacker in there. And they have a plus 99 point differential in the league, which is the best point differential by 20 points, which second is the Bills. But yeah, so 49ers, best team in the league. Now to my game picks. We got the Chiefs over the Broncos, which Broncos haven't beat the Chiefs in 7 years or something, and I don't think it's gonna happen now. So yeah, Ravens over Titans. I feel like Ravens are just better than them, right? Falcons over Commanders. Look at the Dolphins over the Panthers. That should be cakewalk for them. We got the Vikings over the Bears. Hopefully the Vikings can win a game without just Justin Jefferson. Might be hard considering Justin Fields has looked good 2 games in a row, but I think the Vikings will pull it out. Bengals over Seahawks. If they can play like their offense just did, then they'll have no problem at least making this a close game. It could definitely go either way, but I got the Bengals winning that one. Niners over the Browns. Two really good defenses, but the Niners' offense is just so much better than the Browns. So yeah, Colts over the Jaguars. The Jags have won 2 games in a row. The Colts don't have the starting quarterback. I still got the Colts winning this game. It's kind of an upset pick, but it's not my upset of the week. Saints over the Texans. Saints defense has been elite. Their offense needs some help, but I feel like they got a good chance of winning this game. I got the Patriots over the Raiders, which is my upset of the week, which I understand why it's an upset because the Patriots have been playing so bad, but it's also Bill Belichick against Josh McDaniels, which I don't think Bill Belichick is going to lose to a coach on his to Josh McDaniels, which was on his staff before. So I feel like Bill Belichick is going to really want to win this game, and I feel like their defense could definitely give Jimmy Garoppolo problems, which isn't very hard to do. As long as their offense can get them like 20 points, which is a lot to ask for this Patriots offense. But if their offense can get them 20 points, they're probably winning this game. I got the Rams over the Cardinals. Not much to say about that. The Rams are just a better team. Eagles over the Jets. Come on. If Zach Wilson beats the Eagles, I will do something. Okay. Lions over the Buccaneers. Lions are, averaging almost 30 points a game. Buccaneers cannot score 30 points a game. So, got Lions winning that. And then my lock of the week is the Bills over the Giants. And the Bills are really good. The Giants are really bad. So that's all I got to say about that. My week 5 record went 9-5, which is my worst record thus far, but still a net positive, so can't be too upset about that. It brings my total record to 56-22, which is still a pretty solid record, I would say. My lock of the week and upset of the week last week both hit, which makes my lock of the weeks 6-1 on the year, and my upset of the weeks are still undefeated at 5-0. So hopefully the Patriots can keep that streak going. But yeah, that's all I have. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and come back next week for an updated power rankings list.